riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show where we pick a song or an album, listen to it for an entire week straight, and then come back here and tell you, the fine listener, whether or not we hate it, and of course, why. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, amygdala to my hippocampus, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing?
I am exhausted.
Good. Good? Glad to hear it?
Maybe.
One of us should know, and I don't. What's got you so tuckered out?
Oh, Garrett, I spent all week trying, obviously we're in the midst of 2025's sexy spring TM. I have spent all week trying to put this album into that context, trying to figure out exactly how and why it was sexy, why it was in the ball hopper in the sexiest of times this year, why this was an appropriate addition to the sexy spring celebration.
TM.
Garrett, I might have failed. I couldn't get there.
Yeah, the best I can muster is that it might have been a goof. Shouldn't you, Tom B. Rady?
That guy is a practical joker.
Although I gotta say, I haven't seen him in, 2 months.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Anyway, Timmy, let's get down to brass tacks. What album has had you so flaccid, so dry, so anti-sploosh this week? What is the album we've been listening to for an entire week straight, and why did it fail to arouse you?
I hate everything you just did. We have been listening to Alien Ant Farm's 2001 album, ANThology.
I really should have seen that coming, but I didn't, and here we are. God, you'd think after 8 years I would know what stupid thing you're going to say next. I never stop learning from you.
You're welcome.
Sure. And Timmy, after an entire week with ANThology, do you hate this album?
I think so, Garrett. This is, it's bad. It's the problem is it's so bland. I think I maybe meh it more than I hate it, because I think this probably should be completely forgotten by our society instead of remembered hatefully, as this show will probably, make sure that this goddamn thing makes it into the history books. But I mean, if you are going to make me choose, and you seem determined to, I think I'm going to have to say I kind of hated it at least a little, and it is definitely not sexy.
I see.
Maybe a little sexy. What about you, Garrett? Do you hate this?
I hate what you just said. Do I hate it? No, but I want to introduce a distinction that we've maybe not made previously on the show, Tim. I think that it is appropriate to say, while I don't hate it yet, leaving plenty of room to get there, I can say at the onset, I hated doing this for the show.
Yes, that's fair.
And that's a special kind of hate, because usually the more I dislike an album, the better it is for the show. But to be boring and not entertaining and not have good fertile material for our particular brand of podcastery really puts it into a Venn diagram of piss poor zero enjoyment for me.
Yeah, this is not going to be a good episode. Turn it off now. We already have your listen.
God, please keep listening. We will edit out the boring parts. Well, we'll try as best we can.
I'm going to accentuate them with my edit.
I wish you were kidding.
I add pauses.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, Timmy, you kind of hate it? You slightly hate it? You lightly hate it?
Yeah, there's at least a light hatred here, yeah.
Diet hate, okay. And I don't quite hate it yet, though I hated having to do it. I hate that we have to talk about it now.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this either. Listener, feel free to turn this off now.
No, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop. I've got literally like 20 hours of work put into this episode already. Please listen. Spent a lot of time trying to write jokes for this garbage episode.
Yeah, but you failed on all accounts. Feel free not to listen. It's not going to be entertaining. Garrett, God, have you heard this album before? Are you an Alien Ant fan?
Oh, of course not, Tim.
No.
I've heard the song.
Yeah.
The song.
Yeah, that's same here. I am familiar exclusively with the cover of Smooth Criminal. I remember that being on the radio constantly in high school until the good folks at Clear Channel Communications stood up for America in the wake of 9/11 and had this song removed from circulation.
Really?
Yeah.
That was on the banned list.
It was, yeah. I would have guessed. I don't think Michael Jackson's version was, though.
Oh, well, that's even weirder.
Maybe they just hate Alien Ant Farm.
I gotta say, don't disagree.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, based on the popularity of this song, I would have assumed that I would have known, or at least been familiar with some other songs, like some shit that was on the radio in high school as well. But no, nobody has ever heard another Alien Ant Farm song.
In fact, listeners write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com, title it Ant Farm. Are you still listening?
What?
Because by all accounts, nobody's heard any of the songs we're about to talk about except for, of course, that one, which of course will be the fastest one because it's just Smooth Criminal.
What is your favorite non-Smooth Criminal Alien Ant Farm song? Write in.
Oh, I'm kind of curious to ask you. I've been thinking about adding some fun new categories to the show. Perhaps we might have to start forcing one another to pick our favorite track on the episode.
The first one.
Well, really?
Yeah, because I was able to write notes about it. I have nothing for any of the other songs. If you didn't stop listening now, stop listening after we talk about the first song.
Daring them to stop listening. Listeners, I promise. More jokes are coming. Anyway, okay, that's your history. That's my history. That is to say we have the same history as every person who's not an actual member or married to a member of Alien Ant Farm. We've heard the one song and nothing else. Before we can talk about this album a little bit, I guess, we need to understand a little bit about who these people are. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I suspect we are about to learn that the world has never heard of this band, but maybe I'm wrong. So Tim, take us on a journey. Help, I guess, me understand who is or was Alien Ant Farm and how did ANThology come to be?
This band was formed in 1996 in Riverside, California by a bunch of pretty unremarkable fellas. They are Dryden Mitchell of the band Dragonfly on vocals, Terry Corso and Mike Cosgrove of the band Brother Vibe on guitar and drums respectively, Ty Zamora of the band The Color Red on bass. These guys were originally going to wear masks on stage while they were performing because they considered themselves to be cheating on these other bands, which is, and this is true, Garrett, fucking stupid.
Pretty dumb.
Yep.
Pretty dumb.
There is a little dispute on where the name of the band came from. According to Reddit 12 years ago, guitarist Terry, aka Terry AAF, said, "Oh, that was just my daydream about planets seeding by entities from other dimensions, bored at work stuff." To which 459 asked, "There's an episode of Goosebumps like this. Have you seen it?"
Yeah.
He did not respond. I guess the point is that the aliens created Earth as some sort of science experiment, alien ant farm kind of thing. Something like that. Singer Dryden would of course contradict that, saying that when he was a child, a Methodist minister helped him speak again after a skiing accident using some sort of electrical device, and he subsequently had a series of visions of the afterlife, the null, if you will, where all our souls will be forced to march through a desolate, ruined city, enslaved by monstrous giant ant people who were in turn enslaved by Mother of the Null, irrespective of the shoes we are wearing when we died. Either or, both are good origin stories. Both are quite spooky. Neither is that sexy.
Wait, so how much of what you just said is from Revival, and how much did he actually say?
I think it's all something that somebody said, Garrett.
Well, obviously, everything is something somebody said. Sure.
They recorded a demo in 1996 and another.
We're just going to go right past it. My goodness, listener, we are just, apparently Tim was never taught how to footnote his sources, and so it's just all one big word jumble to you. They're all the same source, the internet.
They recorded a demo in 1996 and another in 1998 whilst becoming friends with some of our alumnuses, Papa Roach. So good friends, in fact, Garrett, that they made a blood oath, similar to the one that Garrett and I made, intertwining their fates. Obviously, at least one of these bands was going to be wildly successful, and obviously it wasn't going to be Alien Ant Farm, but they swore that whichever one was the successful one would take the other with them to global stardom. Now, after that happened, the Alien Ant Farm boys released their debut album, which they called for some reason Greatest Hits, in 1999.
Yeah, they did.
That featured some of the songs on this album, including Smooth Criminal, which they titled Slick Thief for some reason. I guess they thought that would sneak it past those that Michael Jackson estate. I don't know.
Nothing gets by Michael Michael Jackson.
No, in 2000.
Very watchful eyes.
Garrett, and then in 2000, Papa Roach, as you know very well, hit it big with their album Infest. See our now classic Why I Hate This Album, episode number 48 from December 4th, 2018. And true to their word and bloody palms, the Papa Roach boys got the Alien Ant Farm boys signed to DreamWorks, and they were able to release their second album, the album of the week, ANThology, in 2001, and then they toured with Papa Roach.
Wow, look at that. Dreams do come true.
Absolutely. The band, unfortunately, though, wasn't really that happy that they were basically just known as the Smooth Criminal cover band, saying that they thought they were better than just that song, and they were annoyed that it was all their fans wanted to hear. They started playing it, they would while they were warming up, they would play kind of the intro to it, and everyone just demanded that they just fucking play that song. Eventually, though, they decided to lean into it, and not to spoil the other 12 songs on this album. They should be very thankful that that song took off.
Yeah.
The video for the song featured a bunch of references to Michael Jackson and also Bubbles the Chimp. Guitarist Terry said, "We wanted to pay homage to Michael Jackson, but on our level. Obviously, we're not that glitzy, so we wanted to tastefully take the stuff that's cool in his videos and apply it in our own dirty little backyard way." They had to get Michael Jackson's approval before releasing it, though, and he apparently told them to take a bunch of stuff out and then told them to put that stuff back in. Unclear if he was fucking with them.
I suspect he was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stories about him pulling pranks on people.
Yeah.
So apparently he used to he would find out, this is so weird, and obviously not my story, heard it from Russell Crowe. Apparently, Russell Crowe never met Michael Jackson, ever, his whole life. But Michael Jackson was a fan of Gladiator. Anyway, Michael would find out where Russell Crowe was staying, and then he would call and use a fake voice and be like, is this Mr. Crowe? Mr. Crowe, can you come down to the lobby? There seems to be a problem with your credit card. And he'd be like, oh, you fucking Russell Crowe. And all of a sudden he'd hear like, I got you again. There's no problem with your credit card. Have a good one. And he'd be like, oh, that was pretty weird. Especially the first time it happened. But then it kept happening for years. And then he never met him.
Yeah. I never met him either, but he kept trapping me inside of cars with bubbles.
Oh, no.
It's a very different...
Is that where you got those chimp wounds?
The chimp bites, yes.
Yes. I didn't know those were celebrity chimp bites.
In 2022, singer Dryden said, "We went through quite a bit of money and bullshit to make sure that we were appeasing Michael Jackson." But, I mean, them's the breaks for the only song anyone will ever remember them for, right?
Yeah. I'm sure they didn't make a lot of money on the song sales. It had to have been all touring.
It must have been, yeah. They had some other success. Their songs were featured in American Pie 2, the best American Pie film until 2006's The Naked Mile, a bunch of WWE stuff, some Spider-Man, some video games, etc. And then in 2002, they crashed their tour bus in Spain, fracturing singer Dryden's C2 vertebra, aka the axis, my third favorite vertebra. The bus driver Chris Holland was killed.
God damn it, dude.
Not to be deterred, they released their next album, True Ant. Truant. You get it? You're at Truant.
Yes.
In 2003, the band was...
Wait, aren't they like 40 though?
No. They are... Who knows? I couldn't actually get any information on any of the actual people. I didn't really look that hard. But the band was arrested at the video shoot for the single from that album, These Days, as they filmed it atop the Hollywood Masonic Temple across the street from where the 2003 BET Awards red carpet was happening. And it's got a bunch of reaction shots of Snoop Dogg, Lil' Kim, and some others. They also crashed the West Hollywood Gay Pride Parade with a terrifying ant slavery afterlife themed float, reminding everyone that the null awaits us on the other side. It's not cool, guys. We just wanted to party.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine that, Garrett. You're out on the town, you're at a parade, and all of a sudden that monstrosity comes rolling by, and they're playing Alien Ant Farm? No, thank you.
I've not been to a lot of parades in my life. I will say, I'll say specifically TV, because I got a little more experience there. Like, you got the Macy's Day Parade every year.
Oh, yeah.
I would rather watch paint dry than watch a parade parade on TV.
Now, I will completely agree with that, with one caveat.
What's that?
You ever see a parade disaster?
No, I love the way that sounds.
Yeah, Garrett. They are nightmarish.
I mean, they're covered in dried flowers.
Well, there's Garrett, the Macy's Day Parade. Imagine a bunch of guys go down and that balloon is just cascading through goddamn downtown Manhattan, smashing shit up. What if it was shaped like a giant nightmare ant and they were playing Alien Ant Farm as it smashed into your office building?
Is that Smooth Criminal?
They didn't have the rights to that, no.
Long time ago, I used to live in downtown Dallas, and I was walking my dog, and I turned the corner, and there was a 4-story beach ball rolling down the street.
Yeah, you sent me pictures from this.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna go inside.
There's also that gigantic eyeball that's just there. You can find it on Google Earth. It looks bizarre from above.
Yeah, I think it's just hanging out in that weird park over the freeway now.
Yeah. Their guitarist left in 2003. They recorded a song specifically for the Punisher video game, and they were told by Geffen not to record another album until further notice. They did not have permission after DreamWorks was purchased by Geffen or some parent company, and they got stuck with Alien Ant Farm. They recorded.
I'm no fan of Alien Ant Farm making music,
right.
Full stop. But it's got to be maddening to have a record company be like, "No, you can't release your music."
Yeah,
what do you mean?
It was, Garrett. They recorded an album defiantly anyway, and Geffen shelved it and refused to give them the rights to their own music, so they couldn't release it on their own. They did occasionally sell some bootleg copies of it. It was called Third Draft by their fans. Nobody's heard it.
Yeah, it sounds right.
In 2006, Geffen finally gave them the green light. They released Up in the Attic, and then their bass player left to go to college.
Really?
Yes. After Up in the Attic failed miserably, they broke up for a bit in 2007. Then both the bassist and guitarist rejoined in 2008 while they were doing other less successful side projects. They did an Anticipation tour in 2011. They played the Michael Forever tribute concert the same year. They released EP Phone Home. It's an EP, you see, as well as a new crowd-funded album, Always and Forever, in 2015. And to support that, they toured with Fuel and Hoobastank.
Yeah, that sounds right.
In 2016, guitarist Terry was arrested and pled guilty to assault after he attacked a fan who threw urine on him. Oh, sorry. No. He thought the fan threw urine on him. The fan did not.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's way different.
It's a weird mistake to make.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. If I'm walking, let's say, at a concert venue, let's say you and I are hanging out at Stubbs, and somebody flings a cup of warm water on me, and then another guy screams, "Oh man, that's piss." I'm going to punch that dude.
Right.
And I feel like even if it turns out not to be piss, there should be I thought it was piss defense.
But you can't just, what if he didn't throw anything at him?
Well, sure, that's a whole different ball of wax. I'm saying specifically, put myself in his shoes, trying to be empathetic. If somebody threw some water on me, and then another guy was like, "Oh man, I think that was piss," I'm going to freak out, and I'm going to go fucking chimp on the guy who threw the thing on me.
Don't go Bubbles.
Not everyone knows this, but Michael learned everything from Bubbles.
That's true.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. He could bite a man's fingers off and tear an ass off, whatever that means. Yeah.
I've only read it.
Yeah. Alien Ant Farm toured with Why I Hate This Album all-stars POD, Buck Cherry, and Lit, and then collaboed with Insane Clown Posse on a song we might have discussed. I didn't recognize the album name, but that doesn't really mean anything. They tried to recapture the smooth criminal magic in 2020 with a cover of Wham's Everything She Wants, but nobody cared. The music video featured a cameo from Insane Clown Posse.
Ugh.
Singer Dryden was charged with battery in Florida after a 2022 concert where he allegedly grabbed a male audience member's hands, the internet specified male, twice, and made him touch his genitals, allegedly.
After he thought that gentleman had thrown piss on him.
In 2023, they played Gathering of the Juggalos. And this is where your argument, I think, really falls apart. Garrett, these are people that willingly go into the nest of the Juggalos. They're getting piss thrown on them, right? Like, piss might be the best thing that's getting thrown on them.
We should go.
And throw piss on Alien Ant Farm. I get it. Because, at this point, here's the thing. You can piss in a cup and throw it right on that man's face. What's he he gonna do? He knows what happens if he does.
That's
he's
true.
He's just gonna have to take that hot piss to the face.
Interesting. You could finally fulfill a lifelong dream.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Garrett.
piss. I'm going to be that guy, and I will fulfill a lifelong dream.
Absolutely. In 2024, they released a 6th album, Mantras, presumably also crowdfunded, featuring the probably mediocre Wham cover previously mentioned. They toured with the band CKY, aka Camp Kill Yourself, which ended when CKY singer Chad allegedly punched Dryden, whatever, in the face in one of those classic Chad versus Dryden conflicts, and that's how the story ends.
Oh, man. And I guess, Annie, are you okay to
No,
you?
we're not doing that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So it wasn't just me that got slowly powered down over that history.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. We gotta pick it up, Tim. We gotta do the heavy lifting. Alien Ant Farm clearly didn't. We gotta turn this thing around.
Yeah, that's the first thing in my general thoughts is, if it feels like we half-assed this, it's because Alien Ant Farm half-assed this.
I haven't tried this hard in weeks.
No, I know, but if it sounds like we half-assed it, it's because they half-assed it so hard. We full-assed it. We might have double-assed it even.
Wow, I was willing to go as high as ass and a half. Double-assed it? Yeah, you know what? I listened to one song 22 times.
Was it Wish?
It was Wish.
Because it's great.
It's inscrutable.
Yeah. Listen, we're firmly in nu metal territory here, but with a twist, because there's some pop punk mixed in, which is unusual. It's
pop punk, post-grunge, new punk.
Yeah. They cite 311, Primus, and Faith No More as their biggest influences. And I guess I kind of get it, because it's very it's that bass heavy. They're a little bit weird and off kilter, maybe, on in very fleeting moments, because most of this thing is incredibly generic. It feels like
very tame.
Yeah, almost all of this is just filler. It feels like this is so unremarkable. It almost feels like a scam, right? It feels like the Papa Roach boys got them a really good advance from a record company, and they were well aware that our music is not as good as this $1 million that you've given us. So they kind of tried to do a producers, make something that won't sell so that they can keep most of the advance and just go back to working in a warehouse or the docks or whatever.
Fascinating.
Sweet early 2000s record company money.
Interesting. It's a fun idea. I'm not too far off from there. I do think that they've overextended themselves considerably.
Yes.
Too many songs on here.
Yeah, this would be it wouldn't be good, but this could be the Smooth Criminal EP plus 4 songs that no one listens to. And because that's the thing, Garrett, I was going to say, when we started this off, and not to get too much into the Smooth Criminal, but the mid 90s through the early 2000s, there was a lot of this, the ironic cover. You had the Limp Bizkit Faith, the Limp Bizkit Behind Blue Eyes, the Cake, I Will Survive kinds of things. And I find it irritating, and we'll get into exactly why, but you're taking a song and you're making it worse. And the only bit on it, it's a goof, right? It's a novelty song. And I was assuming that I was going to hate that song the most, and I don't. It's the best thing on here, by a wide margin. And they should be so thankful to be known as the Smooth Criminal band.
Yeah, because otherwise they'd be known as the shitty band.
Right, they'd be known as I heard this in the background of a bad video game.
Or Dawson's Creek.
Were they in Dawson's Creek? God, that makes sense.
I don't know. I was just guessing, given the time period, that would add up.
Yeah, but you just know the Beak would have fought against this inclusion.
Oh, yeah, the Beak's a purist. Hey, you know what? Good call out, Tim. Let's stop the show full on for just half a second and say, Beak, we're thinking of you. Going through some stuff right now. Hope you're okay, buddy.
Wait, is he?
Yeah, he is. I think it's colon cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're looking out for you, Beak.
Oh no.
Everybody send your positive thoughts to the Beak.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything, but that's so sad. He's great.
Tim, don't underestimate the power of positive thinking.
I'm not. I am correctly estimating it.
No, it's not going to cure him. Might make him feel better.
He won't know, though, because...
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant over social media. Just let him know. We're thinking of you, Beak. I heart the Beak. Yeah, you can actually reach out to people directly these days. I know you don't know how it works, but most people do.
Oh, I know how it works, Garrett.
It's just obstinance.
No, I've just been asked not to.
Got it. Okay, back to the album at hand, tossing aside. Yeah, so let's recap. Actually, let's try to say something nice. The shame of this album is that I think they're fine musicians.
They're fine musicians who unfortunately lived during the nu metal times.
Yeah, they should have picked a lane. Either stay purely post-grunge, which it was really probably too late for that, and try to be more of your Bush type of a thing. Maybe even what's that terrible Chris Cornell band that I definitely still kind of like? Audio Slave. Yeah, you could dabble.
I mean, they're fine.
Yeah, exactly. If they'd have hewed that direction, I think that this band would have been better off. Or go your Third Eye Blind route. Lean into your pop roots and just fully admit that you guys are, pop music.
I disagree. I think they should have done exclusively covers and just gotten real weird with it. Like, do like Bohemian Rhapsody in their style. And just right. That's the thing.
We're ruining all your favorites.
Yeah. Do you want to hear a band get like really into doing a cover that they can't really do? But they're
yes.
Yeah, right.
But they're fully committed to it?
Absolutely. And I mean, they do. Like, you got to give it to them. They do fully commit to it.
It's a good cover.
It is not.
It's a fine cover.
Garrett, it's pretty bad.
No, what? Well, we'll get there. You'll have to explain to me what exactly about it is bad.
Why does he try to do Michael Jackson's voice, Garrett? We'll get there.
Yeah,
it's not a good cover.
It's a fine cover.
It's not a very good cover. Garrett, lyrically, there's a couple of interesting things on this album. Maybe 4 interesting things on this entire album. Most of it is just emo-y. It's at least 9 of these songs are about how he broke up with a lady.
Yeah, pity sad boy bullshit.
Yeah. And I do, of course, have official song meanings from the band on Alien Ant fans for each song. If you're confused about what any of this means, I read the first one and I refuse to read beyond that, so they will be new to me as well. But they're available if you would like.
I don't know. We'll give a couple a try, and if it just makes us sadder, we'll stop. All right, I think we're putting it off. We're procrastinating. Are you ready? Can we dive on in?
Let's dive on in.
Track number 1, Courage.
We're starting off with some classics, Garrett. We got that classic nu metal sound we've all come to know and love. We get the whisper singing in the intro, and then we get the yelly nu metal voice.
Honestly, Tim, I will come to miss the yelly nu metal voice.
That's true.
Later on in the album.
Yeah, when he's doing Michael Jackson vocals. Garrett, I think, do you have a theory of what this song is?
Oh, I do.
All right.
It's one of the few songs I have a pretty clear understanding of what's happening.
Same here. Do you want to go for it or shall I? Because I'm pretty sure we got the same thing.
I will be a little surprised if we do.
Okay.
I'll let you go first because yours is usually pretty out there.
So I think that this is a simple song about a guy who's getting either catfished or, probably more likely, catch a predator. And the people, though, that are catching him, the people he's worried are observing this, though, are some sort of space aliens that possibly look like ants, right?
Okay.
Right? Because he's kept this whole thing a secret from his friends, because that would be embarrassing. But he's worried that the aliens running the ant farm maybe saw him. But again, the story isn't told linearly. They kind of Tarantino their way to the point.
Okay. I think a lot of that's in here. I don't think we're that far off. We're not exactly on the same path, but I'll give you my counter argument.
All right.
I think this is a classic tale about a gentleman who's being catfished.
Or to catch a predator, yes.
No, that's your thing.
You can be catfished by the police and it also be a to catch a predator. That's technically what they're doing.
I stand corrected. Okay, but with my theory, small twist, the gentleman being catfished is also an alien.
Or maybe he's a normal human and he shows up at this pretty lady's house and it's just I guess this was written in probably 1999, so it's just a giant horrifying ant monster wearing like an Abercrombie and Fitch spaghetti top and like a short jean skirt, trying to be sexy for him.
Hey. Oh my God. You look just like your picture. It's a weird noise you're making. That's just how I off gas. I mean, breathe.
Contrary to the matter, who you are not. Come with me, I'll show you Saturn. Planets don't quite align. So here, this is sort of, he's bragging on the internet, right? He's saying, listen, I'm the kind of guy, I will show you the world, as the Aladdin song said, Garrett.
Shining, shimmering, splendid.
It's a good song. But he's offering to broaden her horizons. He's gonna, listen, I'm a worldly man. Sure, you might be a teen or whatever.
Okay.
I know. I will.
God, could she just be like wildly different looking than she described?
She is. It's gonna be both.
She is. She's a 33-year-old man who happens to be a detective with the NYPD.
And is a horrifying ant monster. But then he says, contrary to the matter, who you are not. Right? So who he believes her to be on the internet is not who she is in real life.
All right, we're in sync so far. But where I come down differently is when he says, you know what, fuck it. Come with me. I'll show you Saturn. Planets don't quite align. Look, you're not quite what you said you were. I'm a fucking alien from Gleepertop. Hop in my spaceship, and my whole thing was I need to bring you back to my home planet to mate with you regardless. So I think your whole species is disgusting anyway. Come with me.
Or maybe he's there gathering a meal, bringing her home to the family.
Yeah, he might be bringing her back to dine on her.
Yeah.
Or both. First they mate, then they eat.
Interesting. The Garrett Harvey story.
Different meaning, but sure. I'm down.
I feel like at some point he begins, this horrible alien or possibly sexual predator begins to feel a little, she's dumb, Garrett. She's really falling for this way too easily, right? He starts to say, you should try not to be so courageous. You need to be, I am trying to abduct you one way or the other. You gotta safeguard yourself a little bit more, right? This is not appropriate behavior for you on the internet. You're gonna get kidnapped. And again, I'm about to kidnap you and take you to my space. World. Yes, of course.
Right. But we're pretty close here, because I was saying, like, as a space alien, or if I may, spaceman, you might not be as accustomed to even what catfishing is. Like, he might get there and be like, you are brave to be such a liar about who you are on the internet. I could consume you.
Yeah, but
whatever.
Maybe, okay, so but picture this. He is, because he's a space alien, so he doesn't know about, our various laws, so he has found himself a lady or a girl on the internet, and he's gone to go meet her. He gets there, it's a 38-year-old hairy-armed police sergeant with a fucking handgun, and, he's a 8-foot-tall Ant-Man, and, the guy's just like, why are you here? And he's sheepishly hiding a paper sack labeled wine coolers and condoms behind his back. His gigantic 8-foot...
To be clear, he had no ill intent with that girl aside from abducting her and taking her to his homeworld to consume.
Oh, sure. It's not about it. It's not an age thing with him.
Yeah.
It's just...
Okay, good.
It's just a matter of convenience for him.
I'm here to pick up Sherry. Is Sherry here?
Yeah.
Come on in. There's cookies on the table.
Why was that always the thing? God, that was a weird show.
I guess I'll have some cookies. What are you doing here? Fuck it. I'm going to take you with me too. I'm going to eat all you fucks.
Yeah, and that's why no one's seen Chris Hansen in 6 years.
Did you say in the chat, I want to consume you whole?
I did.
I did, yes, but it's not what it sounds like. I'm sure it isn't.
It's not a sex thing.
We get a lot of people that come here and they say it's not a sex thing, but how would you have me interpret these words, Mr. Gleepertop?
I don't have a human penis.
I see. At that point, I had to pull in a producer. I could play that game all day.
Absolutely. Drink it in, folks. This is the only song that's fun.
Yeah. You gotta stop saying that. Don't remind them. Song continues. I never said you were a mistake at all. You got it all wrong. You're misunderstanding. So obviously he's like, I think we've made a huge mistake here. Maybe I should just take you back. You're kind of a nightmare. And she's like, I'm a mistake? 4 months of talking online, I'm a mistake? And he's like, no, I didn't mean you're a mistake. I just meant maybe like taking you to my home world, meeting my parents, consuming you and our offspring. Maybe it's just not going to work out. And he's not like familiar with gaslighting or narcissism. He's just like, no, it's fine. Come on back. Come on back.
And it's still a 38-year-old man with a mustache who's pretending to be a lady, and he just hasn't realized it yet because he doesn't really understand humans that well.
The cop's like, oh my God, I'm going to take down a whole whole ring of them. He ends up getting himself abducted, taken to his homeworld. You're all under arrest. I tried to explain it to him for like 4,000 light years. He does not get that he is not holding any cards.
Hollywood, call us. This is fucking gold.
It's gold. It's gold.
But listen, he makes it pretty explicit, right? Verse 2, traveled far for this lover, who she was, traveled far for this lover, who she was not. But honestly, it don't matter. Aliens ain't farmers. Listen, I don't need vegetables. It doesn't matter that she's a man. I'm gonna consume her either way.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we were both kind of lying. She's a dude. I'm a man-eating monster from another world.
Or woman-eating monster, or child-eating monster. Listen, human-eating monster.
Tim, I don't know what we just did here today, but it felt good. It felt right.
Yeah. You want to know what this is actually about, Garrett?
Do I?
No, not really. But, Garrett, this is about misunderstandings and reaching a boiling point in a relationship. When I wrote the lyrics, I pictured an argument with your better half. It's to the point that the girl's gonna hit you, but it never actually crosses over to such brutality. I sing in the chorus, you should try not to be so courageous, because you know that courage isn't gonna last. It's like a Jenga game, right before the pieces collapse. Our version, 1,000,000 times better than that.
Yeah, I mean, hands down. I fell asleep just halfway through that.
That's fair.
Listeners, write in. hatePodMail@gmail.com. Who did it better? Us or Alien Ant Farm?
Track number 2, movies.
Two can play this game. We both want.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're in pop punk territory now, which honestly I was not expecting.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like what I'm about to say, but it is so close to it, it's just devastating. We are bordering on some Matchbox 20 level, just whiny bullshit.
It sounds like if a Blink-182 cover band tried their hand at doing a Matchbox 20 cover.
I like it. That is to say, did not enjoy this song.
No.
I got another really strange theory here, Tim.
Oh, please, because I do not.
Fantastic. Let me set the stage then. I think this might be, we'll say a borderline continuation of the previous song, but it doesn't have to be. I think this song is about two aliens that have been assigned to take over Earth together. Pretty simple task. However, they also happen to be married. And while they both work in the global conquering division of their homeworld, they've never worked on a project together. And so this is the deterioration of their marriage as they conquer Earth.
I love it.
Fantastic. Let's get into it. At slow speed, we all seem focused. In motion, we seem wrong. Wrong! In summer, we can taste the rain.
Yeah, and I mean, aliens probably would be very poetic about tasting rain and stuff, you know? They don't, listen, on their planet, it rains diamonds and acid. It's really nice. They can go outside during the rain and just kind of stick their weird proboscis up skyward.
Right. Anyway, my interpretation is that everything seems like it's going well until they really get into it and they start having to move quickly and like the Navy is assembled to fight back against their forces. And then when you might be short or potentially curt with a coworker, you also have to then go home with that coworker and explain why you called them a stupid butthole.
Absolutely. I'm picturing more of a Third Rock from the Sun kind of thing, except they don't look like humans. They're horrible ant monsters and everyone's just pretending so that they don't get eaten. Like, just, yeah, you're, the college professor or whatever that show is about.
Yes, I'd like a double cheeseburger. He knows he's a giant ant, right? Don't tell him.
Please include human hands instead of lettuce. I don't really like vegetables.
Do you sell deep fried feet?
In conversation.
I also like that the voice is slowly creeping towards Men in Black's Edgar suit.
Oh,
He's wearing some sort of Edgar suit.
I thought we were doing a lure.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Also a lure mixed with the newscaster, Morbo.
Yes.
You are incredibly physically different than the person described in the photograph. Never mind, I'll eat you either way. Come with me.
Yes. And it goes on, I want you to be free and don't worry about me. And just like the movies, we play out our last scene. I think what's happening is these two horrible ant monsters, they've just been, and as Garrett did, they're being raised by television. They're learning about humanity from television. And so they're just sort of starting to interpret their relationship on Earth as they conquer and, fight the Navy or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if they have vastly superior weaponry, they're intergalactic travelers, Tim, and stand to reason, but they also, it's not a one and done situation. Like, they're slowly conquering it and maneuvering their forces and destroying millions of people. But also they go home and they make dinner like anybody else, listen to a little Paul Simon. It's slowly over time, though, all the stresses of work, they're starting to bring home. Gleepatorp is arguing with Asnasnikus. And, slowly, they're starting to pull apart. They say, two can play this game. We both want power. In winter, we can taste the pain. And I want to say two things here. One, I think this is an allusion to the fact that they're both strong, powerful people, and two people really can't be the conqueror of a planet. At the end of the day, it's got to come down to that one dynamic person who's going to lead the masses through fear or intimidation.
Whose name goes on the plaque back at the office. I get it.
Exactly. When they're filling out the paperwork to the home world, who's the lead? And so they're bickering. They're constantly looking for attention and trying to take credit, and it's ruining their marriage. The second thing I must say about what I just read, in winter we can taste the pain. Folks, strap the fuck up for a lot of seasonal wordplay.
Oh, I hate it so much. And they, goddamn it, they think it's clever.
Well, they must, because it never fucking stops. It's in every song. We've already skipped over two of them, but I couldn't go another verse without explaining. You're not crazy, listener. It's everywhere, and it's terrible. But anyway, let's keep going. We must. In our short years, we come long way. They also love leaving out words. To treat it bad and throw away. We've come so far, Tim, in our conquest of Earth in just a couple of years, to squander it with our fighting, to potentially give those low-life humans, those rat brains, any sort of attention whatsoever.
Oh, you have been watching some Scientologist propaganda. God damn
Goddamn right I have. And making other people do it as well. It's hilarious.
I love the Dutch angles, Garrett. It really lets you know.
It's the thing that I couldn't get over. I hadn't seen it in, 15, 20 years. It was the thing that I was screaming, if they're all a Dutch tilt, none of them are a Dutch tilt.
Maybe in the future, that's just how the world looks. You know how some movies, they'll film past scenes in black and white?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe in the future, the far distant future, the year 3000, all scenes kind of just look a little off kilter, and the only reason you didn't realize it is because there are no current day scenes in the movie. So it's all future films.
I see. Now, I love this. Now, in reality, is it the scene that's a little cattywampus, or is reality cattywampus and the scene is being accurately captured?
I don't know.
Will reality be slightly cantilevered 45 degrees?
Yeah, listen, we won't know.
I can't see the future.
Yeah.
Well, we won't know because we'll be on it. We'll be on the angle.
Oh, yeah. I assume you just sort of evolve into it,
That's right.
It's like our inner ears can't detect the motion of the earth because whoever, if you're constantly vomiting all the time, that bloodline died out long ago.
There had to have been at least one guy, though. Oh my God. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. And if we make a little space, a science fiction showcase, in our short film, A Love Disgrace, dream a scene to brighten face. Hey, let's split up and rain fire on these people from our own separate locations. And if we're still not happy, one of us can have an honorable death at the hands of the other, and the winner can go ahead and claim credit for the conquering.
Maybe, Garrett, they didn't even come to conquer, right? They came to live their lives out on Earth and, mix among us. Obviously, they still look like giant ant people, but then their relationship starts to suffer. And unlike us, we just simply get divorced or, make catty comments about one another. They fire nuclear weapons at one another as part of their divorce proceedings, and we're all just caught in the middle of it.
I love this. Okay, so it's an amalgamation of what I think is the first Transformers movie mixed with that horrible Will Smith action movie.
Are you talking about Hancock? Don't you
Hancock.
dare say Hancock is horrible. The first half of that movie.
Second half of Hancock.
Fair enough.
Where we learn he's a god and also the other guy's wife is a god and that they fight and they almost destroy the earth. So basically what you just said. Mixed with Transformers. And there was another one that came to mind that's sort of like, Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes. It's very much like that, except two ants and they're only slightly bigger than humans, but they have access to some really fancy future weapons.
I love it. Sort of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith across the globe.
Yeah, or just in a neighborhood. Like maybe
destroy their house.
you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe they've just got
just Brooklyn.
like ray guns and yeah, they're tearing up the city.
Now we're much further down to like a solar opposite scale.
Yeah, fair enough. I might just be describing an episode of Solar Opposites. I don't know.
That's okay, Tim. It allows me to say track number 3, Flesh and Bone.
Remember who built your home? Built your flesh and
I was not expecting Christian music to be on this album.
Dude, it got by me the first time. And the second time I listened, I was like, wait a minute. This is about Jesus?
I like the idea that these alien monsters, like somebody is coming to their door and proselytizing, just like, listen, I know you're from a different world, but on this world, we worship Jesus.
Good Patrol. They're at the front door again. Can you answer?
Maybe that's what got them into that divorce, or going that divorce route, yeah.
Maybe she's super adapted and has no problem with the language. I already talked to them for 45 minutes yesterday. I can't do it again. You answer the door.
Maybe she converted to Catholicism and he's just not having that.
Oh, yeah. We know the origin of their species. We were there and we seeded it.
You were at their conception.
I don't know. They make a lot of really good points. Have you seen the Pope? He's got a huge hat. I hate when you talk like them.
Oh. Garrett,
anyway,
also,
back to what this isn't definitely not about.
It might be a new metal take on reggae a little bit.
Oh, I was going to say, this song opens like a Police song.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, it's weird. But let's see here. Let's get a little bit into it, Tim. This moisture slides from my eyes. It glistens. It glistens. There's nowhere left to go now. If you teach me, I'll listen. I got a theory. I'll give you my theory if you're ready for it.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think that this is a gentleman who, after the world has been destroyed, a human who is living among the ruins, and as humanity often does, is looking for someone to lead him. And it could be Jesus. It could be a Jesus enthusiast. Could be somebody taking advantage of a lost and lonely man and leading him to do his bidding, like I don't know, like a me kind of a person. What have you. Let's continue.
What? Okay.
Do you have an alternate theory?
No. I have a continuation of this story. Maybe the best way for aliens to come conquer is to pick. So we're obviously all waiting for Jesus to come back, right? I mean, I look up in the sky every day and I wait for the fire and whatnot. So they've picked up, right? They're getting our broadcasts and stuff, so they know that we're all anxiously awaiting the return of Jesus Christ himself. And so they think, you know what we could do? We could just come down as their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So let's dress up, and we'll send him down. Yeah, right. And so we'll just they fucking draw little red dots on his hands and shit, and they fucking
But to be clear,
they draw abs on him. Oh,
abs. They draw abs, but still like an 8-foot tall ant creature.
Well, yeah. Listen, his abdomen is a fucking carapace. They're not going to get definition there. How will we recognize that it's Jesus without those rockin' abs?
I don't know why you do all those abs. We have an exoskeleton. You'll never see them. Who knew the alien names were so fun to do? That's a small discovery for this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Christ.
I mean Jesus.
Sorry, it's pronounced differently in heaven. Consider me your apprentice, repentant yet hesitant. Please show me a sign.
Right.
So he's praying to... go ahead.
No, so this is the one asshole that's like actually believes this, and he's just like, yeah, no, I'm in. And everyone else is just like, dude, okay.
Yeah, he's doing it earnestly. Everyone else is just like, I guess we're gonna pretend like this is Jesus so he doesn't eat us or whatever. Come inside, kneel. Remember who built your home. I built you flesh and bone.
Right. Again, this is an alien ant monster who knows very well where humanity came from and is like letting it slip a little bit. Like that's maybe not okay.
Admiral, I'm glad you're here. The plans are ready for your review. All right, very good, sir. Show me the invasion plans. What sort of army do we have? Well, it's a bit unconventional, actually. Also, I don't know why we all sound the same, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, what we're going to do is set up a series of mega churches and have eerie but weirdly charismatic leaders of each mega church, and we're going to have them slowly make political and religious social changes to the country despite being a minority, but they'll be incredibly vocal and active in their communities to create negative changes for everyone around them.
They all have hooks in the sides of their mouths, just drawing it back into some sort of ghoulish smile, like fucking Joel Osteen.
Bigger is it? They're never going to believe you love the Holy Christ as much as you need to if they cannot see all 36 of your teeth.
All 789 teeth that humans presumably have. I have not done my research.
Even the third row? Even the third row.
Oh, there is always... That's the thing. There is always a gay southerner. It doesn't matter if you're in space. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I didn't clock his sexuality. He's in space, Tim. I don't even know if that enters into it.
Oh, it does.
Fascinating.
Come
Fascinating
inside,
contribution.
Neil. Remember what you hear, and I'll still be right here. Come inside, Neil. Remember who built your home. I built you, flesh and bone. Come inside. Look around. I'll lift off the ground. I snapped your ribs, made a lover, so you could share each other.
He's done his homework.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that's...
Well, there's so
that's
much
Jesus.
televangelism being beamed out into space. How could they not?
That's true. It's also some of the most consistent broadcasting for the last, 50 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, the Friends, they change what they're into every week. These Jesus guys, they know what it's about.
Making money.
Yeah. Official song meaning, Garrett, we're not the most religious people, but Ty suggested I write about God. The first thing that came to mind was bashing those fanatical people who force religion on me. But it seemed classier to write something positive about religion, something that embraces it. This song's about knowing there's something greater out there without saying exactly what it is. The Bible doesn't play into it, though I borrowed a few lines from it for the benefit of rhyme. It was challenging to write. I'm so sorry.
Please don't read any more of those. God, I hate this.
Yeah.
Let's
our
see
thing's
here.
fun, though.
Yeah, no, we're doing a great job. Let's keep moving. Track number 4, Whisper. Tim, I'm shocked at just how many of these songs I have theories that involve aliens.
Go on, then.
I think this song is about the last human singer on Earth at the invasion. They were either the last to survive or, more likely, a collaborator. So they helped the Mr. and Mrs. take over the Earth through, I don't know, propaganda songs, or maybe he just happened to work at the DOD. I don't know. But basically, they're like, hey, help us take over the Earth. We'll make you the most popular singer in the world, mostly because everyone else will be dead.
Yes.
He says, it's my arms that wrap you up nice. It's my arms, baby. Small rooms with record exec types whisper away my future lately. And I think what he's saying is, it's his arms that protect his art, Tim, his beautiful and well-crafted songs. And lately, it seems as though there's executive types that are trying to dictate what to do with his art.
Oh, okay. So maybe, follow me here. So they've got Alien Christ has come down. And so they're also like, but we should get, so some of these people, they don't seem that religious, but these guys, they're super into pop music. So let's send down a bunch of horrible aliens wearing suits to really craft the music industry.
Yes, that's where we're headed. So he was like, this is going to be great. I'll be able to just do my music and, monkey's paw style curse. It's the same fucking situation. We have a lot of notes. This is Ted. He's the VP of creative. He's got a lot of notes.
A lot of these songs just sound like you're breaking up with somebody. Couldn't you maybe sing about the glory of ants? Why not sing about how...
why their songs don't have more allusions to sugar and sugar-based liquids.
Why not sing about how 2 arms simply are not enough to get everything done?
Or how human torsos are dangerously exposed without a carapace over them. Or how silly it is to walk around without a thorax.
We have thoraces.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Other bug-related things. Sugar. Good stuff, Mark. Dynamite contribution. Sugar. Song continues. I'll introduce you to producers. I'll write your songs and make them way damn shorter. Which honestly, I might be on board for these ant suits, because these songs are too long.
Oh God, do you think there's like a Harvey Weinstein of aliens in there that's just like, listen,
I can make you a star, but it's not going to be pretty. You're
gotta do a couple of things for me. You see, I can't reach the lower portion of my body. That's where my genitals are. My wife's back on. You're gonna have to J my D. Fucking
that's
music
basically
business.
this song.
Let's see here. Shock me with fear. It's taking longer. Blood, sweat, and years will make me way damn stronger. It's my words that fail to give insight. I blame you. Blame me, baby. So his music is now, even despite the fact being the only music in the world, it's not a hit because they've changed so much of it to make it about mandibles and...
Or because they've killed literally every other human on the planet, and these ants just don't like music.
All right, we're moving. We're moving, Tim. Track number 5, Summer.
You always did what you wanted. We will be all
This can go fuck itself.
Well, Tim, just the sheer amount of seasonal wordplay that we're about to get into alone is enough to make me hate it. But let's discuss it. So you finally fessed up to her. All the lies you said, now you kindly kiss up to her, but the feeling's dead. So maybe this is the fella that was trying to get the record contract with the aliens, and he's been a collaborator helping to overthrow the Earth on behalf of... and his wife, and now he's finally let his girlfriend know. So, like, you know those voicemails you heard, and it kind of sounded like I was helping to coordinate the downfall of the world? You were right, babe. She's just like, I fucking knew it, Carl.
Is this a human lady or is this another alien?
No, this is a human. This is a human.
And does she know he's an alien?
No, he's not an alien. They're both humans.
Oh, this is the collaborator.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, I apologize.
Yeah, so he's been keeping this secret from her poorly because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And finally he's like, babe, it's eating me alive. I just gotta let you know. I have been coordinating the downfall of humanity. She's like, I fucking knew it. Song continues. Tried to give you summer, but I'm a winter. I wish I could make you spring, but I fall so hard.
Garrett.
What
How
the fuck?
clever do you how many high fives did this chorus result in?
30. Not like consecutive. They're not insane. But like over the course of the day that he showed them, 30 for the day. All directly tied to these lyrics.
According to alienantfans.com/song meetings,
I hate that this exists.
Summer is a straight lovey-dovey and not supposed to be anything particularly deep, but a rather cool play on words. Lyrically, I go through all the seasons. Throughout it, I say things like, tried to give you summer, but I'm a winter. Wish I could make you spring, but I fall so hard.
Well, yeah, he's just saying what he says in the song.
Well, but he wants you to know that it's a play on words. You see, he's because you might have missed the fact that there's some season talk in here. So he's explaining that
You get it? Those are seasons.
Yes, it's a pun.
Summer has literally no other definition, sir. It's not wordplay. It's just you. Also, what does that even mean? Tried to give her an orgasm, but he's a premature ejaculator?
No. Maybe. Sunny, presumably. I don't know. Garrett, I don't know. You always make it crass.
One of us does.
Listener.
So you always did what you wanted. We will be on our own. I will soon let you go now. Things will be all right. I think, God damn, I don't even know, man.
We will be on our own, right? Everyone else is going to be dead, right? So, we're going to have to kind of rely on each other.
Or maybe he's been like, hey, like, you really need to stay inside for the next 3 weeks. And after that, I don't give a shit, you can leave. But, like, there's going to be a lot of, how can I say this, schmoys and schmass going around, and it might, like, murder you instantly if you go outside.
They haven't assured me it will only linger in the air for 3 weeks, though.
Right. Let's keep moving, Tim. Track number 6, Sticks and Stones.
This one also is kind of a pop-punky sort of thing.
Yeah, that is.
And listen, this is clearly just about a shitty relationship and or breakup, right? Somebody...
Yeah, now, I got a twist, but we're on the same page.
Right, okay.
Small twist.
Yeah, of course, Garrett. The husband and wife have broken up, but they're still both, inhabiting the planet. And so, but listen, she's got to get everyone onto her side, so she is subtly trying to manipulate human beings to kind of think that he's the bad giant, ant monster. She's the good one. She's the one you can come to with your problems, and she'll listen, and maybe she'll, bite whoever you're talking about on the head. He's just, listen, he doesn't give a shit about you.
Right. He thinks you all look the same.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I like it. I think it's about two people who are breaking up that had a relationship that was almost entirely focused on demeaning one another or having like the weirdest dirty talk where they either called each other and left messages, voicemails, or they just said weird stuff to each other.
Fair enough.
I like you. You showed me. These calls must continue. So that's the birth of these things, right? It's going well. He's enjoying these weird calls. Maybe they leave seductive messages on each other's voicemail, or could just be regular phone sex. I don't know.
As good friends do sometimes.
No.
As a goof.
No.
You know, you call a
Phone
good
sex
friend.
is never a
No.
goof.
You call a friend and you leave an incredibly sexy voicemail to like mess with them or whatever.
That is kind of a goof. Less if you do it.
Oh.
But yes, there is a scenario where that might happen. Time is collapsing in my head. I built all the walls. You can't come in. You were the one that called me last. I highly doubt this thing will last. And here's what I find particularly interesting there. You were the one that called me last. I highly doubt this thing will last. Aside from trying to rhyme last with last, which you can't, this is what made me think that maybe they were either doing something that's mildly shameful if revealed to other people, and that she might have betrayed him. So like they're leaving these like super gross or even just demeaning voicemails on each other's phones, and then maybe she told a friend about it and was like, yeah, he's such a fucking creep. And even though she was too super into it, he finds out, because of course if somebody told you a story where some guy was leaving like fucking weird voicemails on random people's phones, you'd tell me and then I'd tell everybody. So
yeah. One
he
thing,
finds out.
listen, listener, if you would like to break up with somebody free and clear, just tell them that you're super into, you're aroused by somebody leaving just threatening, terrifying messages on your answering machine, and then just take those to the cops.
Yep, problem solved. Anyway, so she tells a friend, and then of course it gets back around to the guy, and he's like, you were the one that called me last. What's the fucking deal here?
I have
Or it could've
so
just
many
been
voicemails you left me on our Google Drive.
Yeah, you do. Let's not play those ever. They're really ridiculous. I do know that much.
Bonusode.
Yikes. You do have like 30 minutes of them.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be that many. Sticks and stones, they hurt when you shoot them through the phone. That's terrible. And you dragged my name through the dirt, and it hurts to be left here alone. So not only are we not going to stay together, you went and told everybody about all our weird, freaky phone stuff, and everybody thinks I'm a creep now because you left out that you were doing it back.
Yeah. And then we get to this weird, I love verse 2 here. It is so petty, and he thinks so highly of himself. He says, elegant thoughts I will not share. My symphonic silence, I hope you can bear it, baby. I liked you. You showed me exactly who I don't want to be. So listen, I've got some really great thoughts. You would love to know the great thoughts I have, but I'm punishing you by not telling you about all these great thoughts. It is shockingly crazy.
That's what makes me think the whole thing's centered around like coming up with weird sex talk. And so he's like, oh, I had some really good stuff ready. You're not going to hear it now because you tell everybody the weird shit I leave on your voicemail.
Yes.
That is a privilege for people who can keep their goddamn mouth shut, you freak.
Listener, write in. Would you like me to start leaving voicemails at the very end after the outro song where Garrett definitely won't find them?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We'll see.
They probably don't age great, and they were meant for 2 ears.
They were meant for me to find sexy.
No, they were not that. You know what? Maybe play them so that we can all agree that you read into things incorrectly.
Excellent. I will play your so that I won't be... yes.
Track number 7, Attitude. A little bit of a Red Hot Chili Peppers feel here.
Yeah.
Super sparse, though.
Yeah, this is really boring stuff.
Oh, you know what, Tim? This just in. Gino put it on the big board. Turns out, I don't really like this song and have very little to say about it.
Oh.
I think we need to skip it.
Yes, but before we do, may I read the first sentence of the official song meeting?
Oh, please.
This is my favorite song on the record.
Hold on. I'm going to read one line, and I'm not going to give any context, and everyone will understand when we get to track number 8 why. The only line worth reading in here. Maybe I act on confused behavior. Maybe waves crash like semi-trailer. Everyone just keep it in your mind. Maybe I act on confused behavior. Maybe waves crash like semi-trailer.
Track number 8, Stranded. Garrett, would you like to read the first lines of this song?
Sure would, Tim. Song number 8 begins. Your waves come crashing down like a semi-auto trailer.
Could you please read the first lines of the previous song?
Sure thing, Tim. Maybe I act on confused behavior. Maybe waves crash like semi-trailer.
This
Guys,
is terrible.
it's the same song.
Yeah. Well, this one's a little bit different though, Garrett, because this one is apparently imagining what it would be like to live under the sea, like some sort of Homer Simpson fantasy.
Dude, we're very close here. I said this is somebody who's bad at metaphors, just got back from the aquarium, and is in a distracted fight with his girlfriend.
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea. I think, Garrett, the husband and wife and
Paul
have gotten themselves into a bit of an argument, and he said, listen, fine, you take the surface world, I will rule under the sea, that way we don't have to fucking see each other.
That would be amazing. Neither of them require oxygen to survive.
Yeah,
and so he's just like, listen,
yeah,
I'll take everything under the water.
You conquer the humans, I'll conquer the dolphins. We'll meet
Comes
in the
back
middle.
6 weeks later. There's fucking monsters down there. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's mostly water. I say we give up.
Yeah.
Can we redraw the lines? I'd like some land, please.
I dive so deep in the sea to avoid killer whales. A perfect moment here and gone. It has sailed. I'll use a hammerhead to drive. Rusty nail inside. I think that he is imagining riding atop a hammerhead shark, holding on to the hammer heads, I guess, as handles. And
Sure.
listen, I know that this is just fantasy. The aliens have absorbed Shark Week. They think sharks are real. They are obviously not. Just a lie to keep us out of the ocean like Bigfoot in the woods. But yeah, I mean, this is, they're imagining some sort of Aquaman 2, Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom, and some sort of glorious underwater thing. But really, it's dark and there's fucking slimy monsters.
Yeah, you don't have to go deep for there to be monsters.
But listen, I like the idea that he's done that, and then he's come to apologize to her. But he's already, as you said, he's done with the ocean. But he's already adopted some of their ways, right? So his apology is just really weird. Just like,
Imagine if our world was blue and weightless. I never meant to do wrong to you. You're my starfish.
I'm your what?
I don't even know what that is. So I like it that they went their separate ways. She took the land, he took the sea. He saw the error of his ways, but he's also become like Lord of the Sea.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you should come down with me.
He's trying to make her think it's really awesome, so she'll offer a trade or something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess I could give you some of my aquatic kingdom. Maybe the South China Sea or something. If you wanted to give me some land, I don't really need it. I love being wet constantly, and dolphins definitely don't ever. It's not like the dolphins don't ever shut up or something. Oh, God.
If we could talk to dolphins, I think the first thing we would learn to say is, please shut up.
Absolutely.
They're chatty.
This song is all about the ocean and has as many puns as I could put in there. My ex-girlfriend was really into whales and marine biology. She hated me at the time, so I thought I would try and woo her.
Wait, this was to win her back? I thought it was to spite her.
Oh, sorry, that's the official definition or explanation of the song.
Right. But the whole, his official explanation seemed like he was headed towards, and I wrote this terrible song to spite her.
No,
with
I think to
the
woo
fish
her.
puns. Yikes. You monotone so low beyond me. A telepathic subsonic frequency. I need a little air for emergency. You have to understand this urgency. I gotta come out of the fucking ocean once in a while. You gotta give me some land.
I like that he got it down in there and a week into it was just like,
Fuck, I miss oxygen. I didn't even know I needed it.
He doesn't need oxygen. It's something that you just took for granted.
I'm just tired of being wet. I don't know how to drink anything.
that would be an issue.
It would be
A
an
sea anemone, you're my enemy. I'm feeling the sea beneath me. A sea anemone, you're my enemy. I'm feeling the sea beneath me. A sea anemone, you're my enemy. I'm feeling the sea beneath me. A sea anemone, you are my enemy.
Guy hates sea anemones.
Track number 9, Garrett's favorite track that he listened to 21 times this week, Wish.
Don't be low, you got the strength and the
Man, I don't know that I have any fun theories here.
Yeah, this is the filler of the filler. It's
the filler.
Yeah. The only thing I really want to talk about, Garrett, is make a wish. Make a succotash wish. What?
You live a pompous life. Throw kisses all the time, make wishes. Don't break mine. God, I hate this song.
Yeah. So I did some searching to figure out what a succotash wish is. I found that it might be a Depression-era phrase. Did you do any better?
Oh, yes. So a succotash wish, which I don't know why. Some words just piss me off, and that's one of them. It is a reference to an old comic strip called Barnaby by Crockett Johnson, where one of the characters...
Oh, Crockett! I know that guy.
Yeah, well, one of the characters, a fairy godfather, would grant, quote, succotash wishes, end quote, which were unreliable or ineffective. So that is what succotash wishes is from, a comic strip called Barnaby. How old is Alien Ant Farm?
Well, you have to understand, Garrett, their references have had to travel for light years to get to them.
Right. We're back to that. So sure, they've only seen stuff from 1923. I haven't caught up yet.
He did say it's the very first song they wrote, so maybe they wrote it in 1923.
God, we've uncovered something. The only other thing I want to say about this, and maybe it was just me, but I can't imagine if you listened to this song you didn't notice. So the lyrics read, "Don't be low, you better watch the road." The lyrics are pronounced, "Don't be lahu, you better watch the road. Don't be lahu." Lahu.
Well, then it goes on, you've got the strength and the balls.
Don't be lahu, you better watch the road. Lahu. It's not even close. It's not lahu.
Right.
It's lahu.
It's not a me-may situation.
No, I can tolerate a me-may. I might even enjoy a me-may. That's mostly around how much you hate it. But you're just, it's not even, one, it's not a word, and two, it's not even close to what you're pretending it is. It drove me nuts. Anyway, we don't want to waste anyone's time. They kind of continue to sing about chimes breaking wishes. I was super confused. There might be a genie involved, but let's keep moving. Track number 10, Calico.
Feel all the seasons flood through you and me.
Ooh, this song gets the award for least amount of notes taken.
Should we, Garrett, should we skip it?
Jesus, I'm on the cusp. Let me do a quick scan.
If it helps at all, the next song is Happy Death Day.
Ooh, let's see here. Is there any reason to talk about Calico? Oh, right. This is the song about a guy getting fired, but unjustifiably. Yeah, we can skip this, Tim. Let's keep everybody's momentum up. Track number 11, Death Day, titled Happy Death Day on my copy.
Happy death day to you, baby.
Yeah, this is a slow, toned-down song about planning your suicide after a separate tragedy, I think.
Jesus Christ. They do slow things way down. I didn't realize it was about a suicide.
Well, no.
Fun side
It's about
note,
planning a suicide.
I see. Fun side note, if anybody's not seen it, Happy Death Day, pretty good movie. It's a horror movie meets Groundhog Day.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Right? Let's see here. I think I have a slightly more fun take on this song, but maybe not. Song goes. I slowly shoot these words like weapons and go insane. I watch you drive your stupid car. You go away. You never were one to use caution, and you don't obey. You know I'd love to see it happen. Tim, what you got?
Oh, I think that he got into a fight. He's watching her drive away, and he's saying, God, I hope you get in a car wreck and die horribly. And then
verbatim here, he hopes that she gets into a horrible accident.
Yeah, and he says, and you don't obey. I always heard it, and you're gonna pay.
Oh my. That would back up what I think happens in the very next verse.
Okay.
I tried to captivate you on that evening. He was leaving with the girl I'd love to kill. I think what he's saying there is he made one big final grand gesture to win her back when she was leaving with another man, and then it didn't work. It failed, so might have cut those brakes.
Yeah, maybe. Because she's definitely dead, right? The chorus is...
Oh, she died in a horrible car accident. The rest of this song is really just about determining whether or not he's responsible.
Right. Happy Death Day to you, baby. baby. I know you're flying in the blue now. We'll be together real soon now, baby. Don't you worry. And see, that's what I think, right? Okay, so maybe he made sure that she died in the car wreck and the boyfriend, this other guy, didn't, right? So he's trapped in some sort of coma or whatever. She's dead. And he's like, listen, I know how to get to you before he does. I can win you back because I'll have years before he dies of natural causes. And if I do it now, I've got plenty of time to woo you back. Yeah.
You're going to be so upset about being dead.
Yeah, especially when you find out that you're in some sort of ant-filled hellish null world.
Right. Okay, we're pretty close here. Let me give you some alternate theories. Not saying you're wrong. Happy to co-sign this theory entirely, but for funsies, let's really break down what he says here. I know you're flying in the blue now. I know she is. I know she's dead. That implies he probably had something to do with it. We'll be together real soon. That definitely aligns with your theory that he too will be dead very soon. But Papa's got a brand new body bag for you. Makes me think perhaps he's at the old county coroner's office after maybe giving a snip to her seatbelt, but not his. Right. And so hers fails. She dies. He shows up to the old medical examiner's office and he's like, let's get you out of that disgusting county body bag and get you into this beautiful lace embroidered body bag so that I may fill you with straw and paraffin for the next 30 years.
Garrett once gave me a very, very nice gift, and he gave it to me in this giant sack. Think about a human-sized Crown Royal bag.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should picture.
Like a cat, I did not give a shit about this gift because there's an awesome bag there. So I climbed inside of it and cinched it around my neck, and Garrett just started pushing me over and rolling me about, which I was stuck with, and then he didn't even let me keep the bag.
That was a good day.
It was a good day. I got to roll in that bag.
Got you such a nice gift, and you were like, let me get in that bag.
I still want that bag.
Yeah, I still have that bag, and you will not be having it. It's a good bag.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, Tim. That brings us...
No, Garrett, I have a official explanation for part of this.
Oh, fuck you.
Happy Death Day is pretty morbid, but I wrote it strictly for fantasy purposes. We've all gotten frustrated with certain people, sometimes to the point where you wish that they would die. But you also realize if they actually did die, you'd be devastated. I'm singing, Papa's got a brand new body bag for you. It's like James Brown's line, Papa's got a brand new bag, but cooler.
Cooler, you say?
But cooler. It sounds like something like, did you say it in like a Matthew McConaughey voice? What the fuck was that? But cooler.
That really kind of sums up the whole problem here. I couldn't have put it better. But cooler. You guys are not even remotely cooler than James Brown, ever. Just
no one
quiet.
Is. Nobody is.
That's true. God, he's cool. Anyway, except for when he's doing crack and slapping women. That's not cool.
I mean, he does it in a cool way. Like, okay, it's not
he does
cool
it as cool
to
as
do.
Possible.
There it is.
Yeah, nailed it. Political landmine, avoid it. Track number 12, the one you know, the one we love, Smooth Criminal.
Annie, you okay? You okay? You okay, Annie? Annie, you
You said you prefer this to the original, right? Was that you?
No, fuck you. Come on, man. We have to get through this. I have no time for this nonsense. This song is, of course, featured on American Pie Dos, Horrible Bosses 2, Guitar Hero on Tour, Decades, and everybody's favorite, Karaoke Revolution.
That's a good one.
Right.
This is part of that tradition of like Limp Bizkit's Behind Blue Eyes and Faith, Cakes I Will Survive. There's a whole bunch of these, but for some reason we were all doing these ironic covers in the mid 90s to early 2000s, and I kind of hate it because they're you're what do you mean ironic? All of those songs are good. You're bad bands. Like,
yeah.
But that's not the ironic thing, right? They're thinking it's like James Brown but cooler, and they can go fuck themselves. This is not right. Like, you did not improve the Michael Jackson here, and you think you did. That's the thing that really bothers me, Garrett, is that they think they did.
Well, Tim, are you ready for a why I hate this album confession?
You prefer this to the original.
No, you cunt. Don't guess. You're never right. Anyway, I have to admit, Tim, I downloaded this song from Napster and burned it to a CD.
Yeah, that sounds right. But in like 2002, right?
Before that.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, whenever this came out.
2001. But maybe you got the earlier one, Garrett. Maybe you got Slick Thief.
Yeah, probably not. I probably wasn't on the tip of the spear for for Alien Ant Farm. At least I hope I wasn't.
I would just like to say that throughout this singer really attempts to do a Michael Jackson voice for some reason. Fuck that. I hate this. I'm really angry about this. Again, this is by far the best song on this album.
Oh, that's true. That is true. And you're visibly shaking. Let's talk about the content of the song just as a quick aside, because I've heard this song and the music video original, like, I don't know, 10,000 times. One of my friends as a kid had it on VHS. We watched the shit out of it. Yeah. It's cool. They lean. How does it work? There's pegs in the floor. Didn't know that. Anyway.
It still takes a shit ton of like glute and calf strength. Like it's impressive knowing even now that it's not magic.
Sure. It's not magic, still impressive. However, never once have I even considered for a moment, what the fuck is this song about? Why are we so concerned about Annie? Well, it turns out, guys, I think Annie got murdered.
Yeah, it's possible that Michael Jackson, like the Toadies, knew your brother in Fort Worth and wrote a Tyler-esque song about this. GHB.
Interesting.
Go back and listen to our now classic The Toadies episode.
I'm not entirely sure all of those facts line up, but sure, maybe. Song goes, as he came into the window, what a sound of a crescendo. He came into her apartment and left the bloodstains on the carpet. She was sitting at the table. He could see she was unable to run, I assume. And then she ran into the bedroom. She was struck down in her doom. It was her doom, sorry. So yeah, it sounds like this lady got murdered in her bedroom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's okay. The song.
All right, track 13. What you think and hope will be the last song and isn't. Universe.
See why you cry, see why you save.
It is for us, friends.
Oh, we're not going to talk the secret song?
No.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a good show of judgment. I've got a very unusual theory for this one.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
And honestly, after listening to your history and more importantly, the band's description of these songs, I might be actually not joking 100% right in my theory.
All right.
Song goes, we should have waited. We should have waited. It's all right. We should have waited. I think that this is... Sure. I think that this is either a gentleman or a group of gentlemen who are taking hallucinogens at a festival. So they're outside, they've taken their mushrooms or what have you, they're in line, going through security. One guy's metabolizing them just a bit faster than the other, and he starts out, we should have waited. We should have waited. It's all right. We should have waited. It's all right. Come on, Gary. Get it together. Song continues. We love to break the season. We used to shake the beehive to relax and rewind. This sounds like the guy that still parties a little too hard despite being in his late 30s, and he's like, dude, we used to do this all the time for fun. This is how we kick off the season. It's how we know it's festival season, brah. Whatever, dude. You have a mortgage. Don't talk like that.
Stop saying bra. I'm not bra.
Yeah, come on. Song continues. See why you cry. See why you save. Your regimen is gonna die. See what you know. Let's see what you throw. Your regimen. It's the one guy who thinks mushrooms is gonna fix everything, including his shitty job and bad frequent snacking habit, but in reality, he just gets high too much.
Yeah, it's not gonna make anything better. It's just gonna make you realize that there are better things out there, and then you have to go back to your office job.
Yeah. Get ready to learn from the universe. Let's see what you throw away. I bet it's your regimen. No, I still gotta go to work and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we get a scene from outside the porta potties. Waiting. Yeah, I'm still waiting. So, waiting? Oh, I know. I already asked you that. I'm sorry. Those are the real lines here, folks. Waiting. So, waiting? I know. Yeah, this is a guy standing outside a porta potty who keeps asking the same dude every 13 seconds, hey man, are you waiting? Yeah, still waiting, guy. Jesus fucking Christ.
Let me give you a slightly different take on this.
Love it.
Awesome, moody, Radiohead influenced. David Campbell turned it into a monster. I think that might be Beck's dad, actually. David Campbell turned it into a monster with his string section, but without making it corny. The lyrics relate to some unforgivable things I've done, things I could never share with anyone.
Okay. I think I like my thing about the porta potties.
Maybe it was something unforgivable he did in the porta potties.
That does happen.
He got so high he thought maybe it was a portal to another world. That's why they call it a portal potty. And so he just crawled down in there.
Dude, that definitely happens.
He crawled down into the plasma to see another world, and, well, it's unforgivable. I could never share this with anyone.
I can't get to the bottom.
I hate
Jeremy's
this.
covered in shit and I'm hot. Let's leave.
But he
Separate cars.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, there's a secret song at the 6 minute and 24 second mark, but we're not going to talk about that because it's mostly nonsense, except to say, might be my second favorite song on the album.
All right.
Tim, how'd this thing do?
Pretty well for such an inconsequential album. This hit number 11 on the US Billboard 200 when that fucking meant something. 18 in Australia, 32 on the E3 Austria chart. Number 13 on the Finnish Suomen Virallinen-lista. Number 58 on the Swedish Sverige-topplisten. Number 45 on the Swiss Schweizer Hit Parade. And number 44 in the Dutch. It is certified platinum in the US, so at least 1 million of our fellow idiots bought it.
Jesus. And what do people think of it?
Well, Garrett, there are 393 total ratings on Amazon, 4.6 out of 5 stars on average, 77% 5 star, 1% 1 star. This first is by Brit from August 2001. I was just kind of wasting $200 on CDs, and I got this one because the lead guy was hot. And I know what you're thinking, that is hot with 2 T's. I'm sorry to say this, but I am not sorry that I bought this CD. I'm listening to it now, and it blows my mind how much this CD really just touches me and how deep it is. Everything is so well put together, it sounds so great. I know I will never feel the same about this band. It's a little more serious than punk, which is my main music, but I know all punk fans will love this CD.
Whoa.
It's more hardcore than, say, Sum 41 or Blink-182, but everyone needs to hear this CD. You won't regret buying it, and don't let Smooth Criminal throw you off. It's unbelievable, and I am so happy about this purchase. I encourage everyone to buy it, no matter what kind of music you listen to. Summer is my favorite song because, well, the lyrics, they're amazing. I know music, and this is real music. This CD is now my favorite of all time. It's so inspirational for people who are so passionate about music like I am. 5 out of 5 stars.
I went from hating that person to sort of loving them. I know music, which is what this is. Okay.
Vince, September 20th, 2001, just 9 short days after 9/11. The whole album is great, but the remake of Smooth Criminal is a welcome improvement on the song. Can't wait for the next album. 5 out of 5 stars.
It was a weird time when those towers fell.
Raphael from 2003. I will be brief. If they can make a song sound good, they're okay. But if they can make a song written by Michael Jackson sound good, they're great. 5 out of 5 stars.
Okay. Fantastic.
This is by Amazon customer. One more from 2001. I did find several reviews of people that thought it was appropriate to write reviews on 9/11, but they weren't that interesting. So I'm going to go with one from November 7th, 2001. Have a cell phone, baggy pants, a dumb haircut. Consider yourself quote-unquote cutting edge, quote-unquote controversial, or quote-unquote hardcore. Then by all means, rush out to ... and snap up this wonderful, wonderful album. Play it loud in your dad's car and show the world your anti-establishment and devil-may-care raison d'etre. Man, you couldn't care less about Britney, right? You're gonna run out and get that tat and or pierce septum, right? Then you are a true original, partner, and this is your soundtrack. It's like God read your mind and sent AAF to set thy free of the chains that lame butt society forged to ensnare you. Trust me, one day after you are grown up, you will look back at this and laugh, albeit uncomfortably. 1 out of 5 stars.
Uncomfortably? Probably not. God, but okay, who's that for? Like, I know who he's addressing, but like, who does he think is gonna go read that?
I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think it's for him, right? These are just some things that like,
I need to get off my chest.
The problem is, this is a person who had an argument with somebody about Alien Ant Farm, and that person had all the facts, and he lost that argument, and so he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna write a comment. I'm gonna really think it out and have an argument with nobody that I can definitely win.
Yeah, it's taking that, having an argument with yourself hours later, like one very unhealthy step too far.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see, who's this for?
This is for people that don't like Michael Jackson, that think he could be improved upon by the likes of Alien Ant Farm.
I was gonna say it's for like 13 to 17-year-old men in the year of 2001 that were going to immediately regret purchasing it.
I think this is for people with a cell phone, baggy pants, a dumb haircut, people that consider themselves quote-unquote cutting edge, quote-unquote controversial, or quote-unqute hardcore. People
I can
couldn't care less about Britney. People that are going to get that tat and or pierced septum.
Don't do it. Don't read the whole thing. I do like that people who own cell phones are lumped in, though. That's of the times.
Well, yeah. I didn't have a cell phone
I'm tired of
then.
seeing these people with phones out in public.
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Well, yeah, it turns out that guy might have been right. Boy, that's a sobering way to end this episode. Tim, do you hate this album?
You know, I'm going to say the exact opposite thing that you said at the beginning. I hate this album. However, turns out this experience was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. And we got a lot more out of this than I could have ever imagined. So I do hate this unremarkable garbage, but kind of like you, and I kind of like our interaction, friend.
All right.
Do you?
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you hate this album, and or do you feel similarly about me?
I've really asked you to stop putting like pork, what's the other word, appropriations into your questions that force me to answer favorably to disturbing questions in an effort to move the show forward.
You could just say nice things about me occasionally.
I do, and then you make me regret it because you dwell on it, or you make a real big deal out of it, or you respond how no living human ever would. Make it all weird.
I'm the Rascal King.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Alrighty, Tim. No, I don't hate it. I meh it, which I think is actually a promotion from the start of the show. However, I do agree in that I had a very good time doing this episode.
All right. I hope everyone didn't stop listening the many times I demanded they stop listening.
Yeah, the insistence was odd.
Yeah.
It's almost like you don't even understand how this works. But anyway. Okay, we did it. We said we would. We got to the end. We asked the question, and it was answered. So please, leave us alone. No, thanks for listening. If you can reach out to us by going to hatePodMail@gmail.com and telling us what you like, weird stories about these songs and or albums, although I know you didn't own this because who did? But if you want us to listen to other things that are not nearly as good, you can let us know. hatePodMail@gmail.com. Give us your suggestions, your ideas, your recommendations, your weird stories, your artwork, your theme songs, not your thongs, your theme songs. Keep your thongs. You may need them. And you can do that there. You can also reach out to us on Instagram. That's HatePod. Twitter's Album HatePod. I'm G Harvey Tweets. You can find every episode we've ever done on hatepod.com. You can download them, trade them with your friends like a little Pokemon. Got to catch them all. You can find us on our subreddits. A lot of discussion there. And then, of course, there's a Discord server where I must insist we do not have heated political discussions about Ireland. But I think that's going to do it for us this week. As always, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson, and on March 28th, 2016, Garrett P. Harvey said, I have become the dung beetle of humanity.
I said it with pride.
I've become the dung beetle of humanity. No, I've become the dung beetle of humanity.
That is definitely the wrong emphasis.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Gary.